Well, I think it has just become very, very important that some of us do make some little contribution on this very ugly situation which our medical conditions points out to us. Concerning this very deadly disease, which is called the coronavirus or COVID-19, which is currently devastating nations, destroying souls and killing people, rendering us, everyone in the world, helpless and self-imprisonment, and things that we're not used to. We have taken a scientific view to this matter, and we don't seem to have found any solution. Most of our clergies have also taken the spiritual angle, yet we have challenges. So many questions will be going through our minds right now. What is really wrong? What has happened? Historians have been able to tell us that every 100 years this comes up, and we have watched videos on social medias that have suggested several things and everything. But one fact remains that this is an unusual disease, and we call it a plague upon a people, upon a nation. And a lot of things are happening, too many things at the same time. But the unfortunate part of it is the loss of lives, especially in China where it started, and recently in Italy, where the situation has become almost hopeless and helpless, and in Spain and America, of all places, and with the best medical institutions that we have, no one has been able to bring this to an end. What we hear every day from government, and government is stay at home, wash our hands and with soap or running water or detergent, and wear masks and social distancing. So this has called for sober reflection. And as I ponder and wonder about this situation, I found that literally everything has come to a stop in the whole world. There's no commerce anymore, no economics, no politics, and no one again is remembering who has offended him or her, and all those usual life activities that were created man-made has all come to a stop. So for me, this looks more like a lesson to the world on the new world that will start. And I think this is heading to the beginning of a new world. Where we pray that our solution to this comes up as quickly as possible to untie us from this very, very terrible situation. I also want everybody in the world to meditate and take a little time out alone to meditate and think about the whole life itself, and if the type of life we believe in is what it should be. Because this idea of self-imprisonment is nothing but for sober reflections, and for us to think twice about the kind of life we've lived as a people, as a nation, and as a world. I have not lost hope that solutions to this will come soon, so sooner than we think it will come. When we observe those things that we're told to do, washing of hands and keeping our throats wet every time, and making sure we apply the hot water therapy, and social distancing, I think more is for us to take our time one-on-one and ask questions, and ask ourselves questions, and reflect, and have time to talk to God where possible, and that's the best way to go. So this message will just be to encourage everyone in this world, and people who have segregated in terms of colors and religion, to think twice. And for those who have been living a life of destructions and everything, and to think twice. I think this is more or less a lesson to the whole world, that after we come out from this, we should have a better world, a more united world, where we should all reason together, work together as beings, and stop the issue of hate and what have we.